please rise as you are willing and able for our hymn from the gray hymnal, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. That sounded very joyful. We bid you welcome. We do not ask what you believe or expect you to believe in a certain way, but only that you live a kindly and helpful life with the dignity proper to a human being. Welcome to all who believe that religion is wider than any sect and deeper than any set of opinions. Welcome all who might find in our friendship strength and encouragement for daily living. My name is Barb Eglinton, and I am your service leader today. My pronouns are she and her. Thank you for spending your Sunday morning with us, whether you're here in person or online. I'd like to extend a special welcome to any visitors today, and after the service, we invite you for coffee and conversations downstairs in our reception hall. This morning, we are delighted to have our younger congregants join us for this multi-generational service. This is a time for us to be together in ritual and song and moving our bodies and celebrating the joys of this diverse community. Joys and sorrows will be shared later in the service, and you can come up to the microphone and share your joy or sorrow, or you can text the number in the order of service, and I will read it later. Now, please take a moment to silence your cell phones, but don't turn them off. We encourage you to share that you are attending the service today. And now is time for announcements. Does anyone have any announcements? Karen?
Morning, my name is Karen Duguay, and I am the chairperson of the fundraising committee. And we are mailing out the pledge materials for the upcoming stewardship campaign. They'll go out tomorrow. So if you don't have them by Friday, see me, text me, call me. I'm in the directory, and let me know. There are going to be several new activities this year. One of the activities is called cottage meetings. And if you read the magnet that was sent out Friday, you might have come across that. There's a link in that magnet in that article for you to click on to sign up for a cottage meeting. However, here's what I have done. I have these great little stands down on the tables that have the list of the cottage meeting dates, times, and homes and locations, not the city they're in. So you could have a look at that and maybe check your calendar and see, what works. These meetings are also on the link. So if you don't have to do it this way to sign up. But I thought today, while you're sitting around at each table, you could read this. At the bottom, there is a QR code that you can click on and sign up today. We're going to accept 12 people for each meeting. So this is a soft launch to our campaign, and I hope everyone goes to one of these cottage meetings. Now, just real quick, I know this is a long announcement. A cottage meeting is a meeting where a small group of people will gather in members' homes just to discuss their feelings and thoughts about the church, what maybe their vision is or their desires are for our church going forward, to talk about pledging, to talk about anything that comes to mind in these small groups. So I hope you can attend one, check it out, and see me if you have any questions. Thank you.
My name is Hope Sorensen, coming to you today from membership. And my announcement is that today is the day for UU and U Part 2. So that will be today, 11:45 after service, up in the Marge Brown Room. And that is about our UUCF and the history of that and the inner workings that go on today. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you would like to attend, there's no RSVP necessary. We'd love to see you there.
And that George Rourke's going to be heading that session up, so we'll look forward to that. Two things. When Rabbi Schwartz was here last week, among other things, he talked about the Holocaust Museum, which is over on Orchard Lake Road. It's been there for, 20 years or so. It recently closed to do some renovations. It's reopened now. Talked with a couple people. Sunday, like right after church, after our church, would be a great time to visit. Just in general, specifics aside, what day we're going to do it, all that sort of stuff. How many people would be interested in going on a tour of that sort? Okay, that looks great. Well, I'll get back to you on details. Second, and talking with Jamie and Jesse have done a great job over the last several years putting together a game day. It's typically the second Saturday of the month, the afternoon. It's a lot of fun, particularly for people who know these neat new games, the Euro things. But even for the rest of us, it can be a challenge. Joan Ramsey and I have heated Scrabble battles. And we now have a traveling trophy for whoever wins. No. We'll see. But, even if you want something as old days as Scrabble come, it's a lot of fun. And membership provides, they get the food, we buy membership, so be there.
We are starting a new adult ed a Thursday evening series starting this Thursday. It's three Thursdays in a row doing the curriculum called A Wisdom Path. It's about our relationship with money, and we're just digging into how we think about it and what we do with it in our lives. So the first 3 sessions starting this Thursday night, it will be both in person and online. The links have been in the magnet and in the e-blast. If you so you do not have to show up, but feel free to contact me if you would prefer to be online as well, so we can have you be a part of that. I look forward to seeing you there.
And check our website and the e-blast for any additional announcements.
Hello again. My name is Reverend Karen Madrone, and I have the privilege of serving this congregation. My pronouns are she and hers, and it is always so good to see your faces. Our chalice lighting words this morning come from Reverend Dr. David Breeden. He writes, "Here to transform. Welcome to this place where certainty transforms to questions." I'm sorry if you came here for answers. We do not do answers. This place that takes what is and imagines what can be. Welcome to this space where what was fixed begins to shift, where rigidity embraces unfolding as we join in the dance of transformation. Welcome to this moment of change where together we transfigure and transcend together. And before we do our affirmation of mission, I want to lift up one group that is transforming. I want to recognize our executive board, who has put a lot of effort this year into learning and growing together. So if you could give them a big hand for the way that they put together our work. Let us say our affirmation of mission together. It's on the second page of your order of service. We seek answers everywhere, include everyone, and live with compassion.
Okay. Hello. Good morning. I am Corey Cortez. My pronouns are she and her. And I am the Religious Education Coordinator. And we have our Wonder Box today. I would love to invite all my friends up, my RE Kid friends, youth up, kids and youth. When they get to the teenage years, they don't like to be called kids anymore, so.
Anybody who wants can come up closer.
Anyone who, not yet. First, we are going to open the Wonder Box. Let's see. Who would like to open this Wonder Box here? Would you like to open? Okay, you guys can all do it together, all three of you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What is that? Can someone take that? Can you take that out for me? And can you take that out for me? Thank you. All right. Let's see here. So our Wonder Box has actually been transformed into a gift box this year to remind us of all the gifts that our faith teaches us, and to remind us of all the ways that we can use those gifts. So this month's theme is transformation, the gift of transformation. So before you do that, hold up what you have in your hand. Hold it up real high. Can everybody see this? What do we have here? A caterpillar. And what do we have here? Does anybody know what this is? A chrysalis, right. So a cocoon, that's very good. That's the pupa stage of the moth. And this chrysalis is the pupa stage of the butterfly, right? So what happens to caterpillars when they go inside of this chrysalis? They turn into a butterfly. And does it happen right away? Do they go into the chrysalis and it happens right away? No. It takes some time, doesn't it? They have to change inside of there, and they wiggle around, and they turn into some goo, and then eventually, out comes a butterfly, right? Change isn't always easy, but what did I do with my script here?
I put it on.
Oh, wonderful, thank you. But today, with the help of our friend Barb here and a couple of our friends down here, we are going to share a story about transformation. So I'm going to need my friend Talia and my friend Jude to come up. And I'm going to grab some things real quick behind you, okay? And if you want to start the story, Barb, that would be great.
I don't know if it really happened this way, but I do know that it's true. That a long time ago and far away, or more likely recently and quite nearby, high up in the mountains on a black cherry tree, an egg was laid on a leaf. And in the night of the full moon, out of that egg hatched a little brownish caterpillar
with white markings that would look to any bird who might chance by, perhaps like bird droppings.
The caterpillar's name was Homer. Homer looked around in surprise and wonder to find himself alive in the world. Better eat your egg casing, little friend, said a black and spiky caterpillar nearby. And Homer did just that, and then turned to look at his new friend. Welcome to the world.
Welcome to the world, said the other caterpillar, whose name was Sydney. It's delicious. Here, try some of this leaf.
Together, the two caterpillars munched on leaves that spring through rain and sunrises and sunsets. They laughed together at the antics of baby birds and hid together under leaves that black, spiky caterpillar had collected, so that parent birds could not catch them. Sydney taught Homer all he needed to know about life on a leaf: how to stay safe, how to munch, how to enjoy the feeling of the wind stirring in the tree and the sun slowly warming the mountains each morning. Together they gazed each night up at the beautiful moon.
But one day, the black spiky caterpillar started something totally new and different.
What are you doing? Asked Homer as Sydney carefully put down silk on the underside of a twig in the newest collection of leaves and began hanging upside down.
Making a chrysalis, said Sydney.
A what?
You'll see.
And over the next couple of days, and in the shelter of the leaves, the spiky black caterpillar shifted and shed its skin and became a strange, lumpy brown thing, hanging there and not making any conversation. What could this mean? For a week, Homer munched quietly by himself, watching the strange brown hanging thing that used to be his friend, wondering and worrying as the strange, lumpy thing shifted in color, size, and pattern. Then one day, out of the strange, lumpy brown chrysalis pushed an even stranger new creature. Homer watched as this new creature pumped blood into its black and white and bright orange wings and unfurled a strange new mouth.
What? Cried Homer. Who? The new creature turned to look at him.
Oh, little friend, it said, it's still me. The one you laughed and hid and munched leaves with and watched the moon with. But now I'm a butterfly. An admiral butterfly, to be specific, Sydney said proudly.
But you changed, cried Homer. You were as consistent as the moon, and now you have changed.
Sydney smiled gently. Oh, friend, they said, we're supposed to change. Why, even the moon is different night to night. Sometimes we will see all of it, sometimes only a sliver, and sometimes we can't see it at all.
But I don't want to change, lamented Homer, scared and sad.
Change is part of who we are, and now our friendship must change too. I must fly away in search of flowers and other butterflies, and eventually I will fly south to stay warm in the winter. You must continue to eat and grow and stay safe from the birds, but you will change too. Just remember, you are loved, and whatever your body does, you are a beautiful friend, and I'm glad I know you.
And with that, Sydney took to the sky.
All that summer, Homer, the little brown caterpillar, ate and grew and hid and watched the moon, which did indeed look a little different every night. Homer became a bigger brown caterpillar. His white splotches turned into two little eye shapes, so he looked like a fearsome little snake, and no bird ate him. Day by day, the seasons moved toward autumn. Finally, Homer found his own safe space to hang upside down and shifted into a chrysalis. This was scary, but Homer remembered his friend and was brave. All winter, the chrysalis hung there, safe and still. In the spring, Homer felt himself stir, felt his new body shift once again, and wiggled free to find himself with a new mouth and different-shaped wings. Wings that were yellow and black and blue and orange and glorious.
Oh my, said Homer, the Appalachian tiger swallowtail, gazing at himself in wonder and delight.
And he took off into the sky, up towards the bright moon, bold as a bird, up the broad sweep of Spruce Knob.
Thank you all.
Let me sit down.
Thank you, Barb.
This butterfly was really ready to go because it was an overwintered butterfly, so it was in there very long. So I have some questions. I have some questions for you all. No, we need you here. Have you ever felt like Homer, seen someone change around you? Have you ever seen somebody, maybe a sibling, grow up and change around you? And maybe you felt like you weren't changing, or maybe some of our adults out here maybe had a friend or family member or in relationships, maybe seen other people change? Yeah, we all do. What about you kids? Have you seen people change? Yeah? How did it feel?
I've seen Louis change because he used to be like not nice to me, but then he was like he wasn't bothering me anymore.
Yeah,
There's a
so people,
transformation.
that is a transformation. People's behavior can change.
I did from like I guess a very long time ago, more than 6 years ago. I think there was like a singer named I think it's I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. I think its name was Michael Jackson.
Oh.
Okay.
He
He changed.
Yeah, he changed a lot.
Yeah, he changed
A-
his skin. He somehow changed.
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of celebrities will see changes because we see celebrities in the limelight all the time. So we notice their changes when they grow up, especially if they started young, like Michael Jackson did as a kid, and to a famous pop star, right? So have you ever been like Sydney, who was the friend who changed? Anybody like felt like where you maybe changed?
I've changed a lot.
Yeah, you've changed a lot?
Cuter when I was a baby.
I think you're still adorable, but that's great.
But
I'm glad you brought that up
Yes.
because we are going to get to that in just a
Right.
minute here. So
this story, while Brian is bringing up getting our screens ready, that this story makes me remember times when I was in a new place, because I've been in a lot of new places, and people became my friends, and they helped me acculturate to what was happening, but eventually they moved on because their role with me was to help me adjust. And then they moved on, and eventually our relationships changed over time. We each have the capacity to help each other, especially when we are frightened or worried. And so, Corey, what are some of the ways that our young people have changed?
We're gonna get some pictures up here, and I want everybody to look up here. Once these pictures come up, does anybody recognize themselves in these pictures? Raise your hand. I see one hand. Where's your sister? Is she there? Oh, there she is. Do you recognize yourself in that picture?
Yeah, that's both of us.
Yeah, when you were babies.
Please say their names.
So we have Joanna and Violet. Do you want to stand up? No?
No,
Okay, do you want to stand up? You don't have to. Okay.
Okay.
But you can see they look very different from when they did here, right? So let's see our next picture.
Who are these children?
Does anybody know who these children are? Oh, I see a hand back there. Yep. We have Talia and Everett way back there. Boy, have you changed. You didn't recognize them, did you? And we'll keep going.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah, we have Dominic and Oliver who did not make it here today, but they might be watching at home.
And how old are Dominic and Oliver now?
And Dominic is 5 now, and Ollie, I think, I want to say 20 months, around there, maybe?
But still quite a bit of changes from
Yeah.
that first picture.
Yes. All right, let's see our next slides here. They're coming. Oh,
Who's in these pictures?
I know this one.
you.
I know on the left side, my brother's in it.
Yep, that's Dante in the little chair there. And then those 2 cuties that are holding hands because they're afraid of the Easter bunny
And then an Easter
is Arlo and Jude. And then who's that little girl in the tutu? That's Maya. Okay, let's not knock down the microphones. You're excited to see you up there looking so different, huh? And then I think we have one more slide. And we have the Lukaches who could not be here today. We have Dexter's feeling under the weather, but I don't know if you could see there. We have Annie, and Dexter is holding baby Sibby there. And we have Dante and Maya and Arlo and Jude in there too. And Emmett in the background. Okay. And they're on a butterfly bench. What perfect way to talk about transformation. So what kinds of things, I'm going to ask you now, sit down. What kinds of things can you do now that you couldn't do at the age you were at in those pictures?
Maybe climb around on my bed.
Yeah,
you could bed.
Yeah, because you were probably in a toddler bed or crib. Yeah.
Do this.
Okay.
So,
You're
Arlo
right.
can jump back and forth.
As a baby, you could not do that. What's that?
Right.
Right? Oh, you could not write.
Right.
Yes.
She can write
yes.
now that she couldn't before.
Okay, sit down, guys.
Cook a chocolate chip waffle without burning the house down.
Oh, yes.
That's an important life
That
task.
is.
Yes.
Okay, real quick.
Wait.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you. Think about it, and I'll come back to you. Yeah. Oh, Arlo and Maya, let's sit still, please. Okay?
Let's sit down.
I'm going to get hurt. What can you do now that you couldn't do then? When you were little. I know your picture wasn't up there, but when you were really little, what can you do now that you couldn't do then? School, right. You're going to school now. One more, and then we got to move on.
Wait. I couldn't even draw a perfect rainbow.
Oh my gosh, and now you can draw a perfect rainbow?
Wait, I thought you said you were about to do mine.
Okay, really, can you just make it short, okay?
Okay. To not write the letter A in left hand.
Oh, okay, so now you can write it in left hand.
I couldn't talk.
You couldn't talk.
Okay.
So what helped You make that change. What help you make? You learn. Yes. That was such a good answer. I love that answer. You learned, right? Anyone else?
Well, like they said, you learn like by failure and stuff, like how I burnt the house down many times. I was able to successfully make.
Well, you got the house smoky. You didn't really burn it down, but yes, right? So that's how we learn. We learn from our mistakes. Very good. Thank you all for sharing your stories and your thoughts. Let us now move on to our joys and sorrows.
So you can stay here, or you can sit in these first 2 rows.
Yeah, we have
while
we have rows for these first 2 rows here for you guys to sit in if you'd like.
We make space today for authentic and vulnerable sharing, which helps to build this congregation into beloved community. We invite you to share what's going on in your life, to name your feelings and the people on your hearts in need of prayer, good energy, best wishes, and other help. We invite you to get into your body and investigate what emotions are you experiencing, to share them as you feel called, so we can help one another hold our joys, our grief, our in-between feelings. You're welcome to come up and pick up a stone or stones from the table below, infuse or charge them with your joy or sorrow, and place it in the singing bowl, where its energy will ripple out to be held by all of us. If you'd like to verbally share something important on your heart, you can come up to the microphone directly. If you have submitted a joy or sorrow, I just checked and there aren't any, but I will have read them. That for the intentions that rest in the silent sanctuary of our hearts, one for the joys, one for the sorrows, and one for the strength of this gathered community that can support you and bring you peace. Now we'll sing our next hymn, which will comes from the Teal hymnal, number 1012. When I'm frightened from, or when I'm frightened.
You can remain seated.
Share some of your stories.
We know you've been wondering about this table. So, especially for our young people, there are some things under here you may have never even seen before. When we were thinking about things that change, we started to think about technology, because that's an easy thing to kind of put your hands on. Technology is something that we have seen change over and over again in our lifetimes, and I'm sure many of you throughout yours. What are some technology things that you may have noticed change in your lifetime? I'm going to ask an adult out here. Yes, Liz.
We've moved from records to 8 tracks to CDs to cassettes
Back to records. Yes.
So true.
Typewriters, yes.
Good one.
Daryl.
Yeah, microwave ovens. We used to have to do popcorn on top of the stove.
Yes.
Yeah.
This week, we went on an archaeological dig in our homes, our families' homes, and in our church building. As we were digging, we found some pretty cool fossils, although I know it's hard to hear the word fossil when it's connected to something in your lifetime, but we're just going to call it that. Technology fossils. Would you like to see what we have here under our sheet? Okay. Anybody remember a projector? Yes. This was downstairs. What else do we have over there?
We have some cameras. So we have film camera. I don't know if you kids have seen these before, but you
What is film? Okay.
You would actually put film in here, and you'd have to go and get it developed, and you couldn't see the pictures as you took them. So a lot of times you would go and get it developed, and your finger was over the camera, so you have pictures of your fingers, or it was really blurry.
Oh, can I tell you the worst part is you didn't even know if the pictures came out until they were developed.
That's right, which you usually, at first you had to wait a couple weeks, and then they had the 1 hour film, which was huge. And then came the Polaroid camera, which, like records, is coming back. So the Polaroid camera.
This was also downstairs.
Right? You could take a picture, and instantly you would get a picture. We'd have to kind of shake it like a Polaroid. Oh, you weren't supposed to shake it. Okay, but people did because they thought it would develop faster, right? It would come out faster. So then there was that, and then we moved on to digital cameras, and this was an older digital camera, but one of the beginning digital cameras. And now, how do you take pictures? Kids, how do you take pictures? From the cell phone, right, from your cell phone. Yeah. And then we did some more digging, and we found one of these babies. Does anybody know? I'm going to ask the kids. Do you know what this is? Tape, like Scotch tape?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what this is called?
It's a music tape.
It is music. Yes, it's called a cassette tape. A cassette tape. Yeah. And you would have to put the cassette tape in one of these cassette tape players. This is a fancy one, though, because this is actually a DVD player, a CD player
too.
And a cassette tape.
This was when technology was trying to kind of do both, right?
Yes, right?
Yeah.
This is a little bit more advanced. And you would have to rewind it. You'd have to listen to the whole thing. If you wanted to listen to the other side, you couldn't just go to one song, right? So you'd have to sit there and rewind it. That took a while. And then we moved to the iPod, the MP3 players, right? Which some people still have. Or how do you listen to music? Is there another way to listen to music?
Yeah, on the phone.
On your phone, right? or your computer, or Alexa, or Google, whatever you have. So streaming music. Then we found one of these.
Oh,
What is this? A save
icon.
file, right? It's a 3D save file. It's called a floppy disk. So before you had the
There were bigger ones.
before you had, yes, there were even bigger ones, and they were really floppy. But now you can just save things in the what? In the cloud.
Right.
That's magic to me.
Yeah.
But we used to save it on these disks, and we would have a little place in our computer to put this disk, and we would open our files.
And we also have a USB port because that's one way that we sometimes still share information together. We have videos and a VHS and a VHS player also downstairs.
Yeah.
So what do all these things have in common, and what are the things that we want to talk about with them, Corey?
Yeah, so the cameras, let's start there.
Okay.
What, from the cameras that when we used film to digital, what has changed and what has stayed the same?
So what stayed the same is that people want to be able to hear music. Across time and culture, they want to be able to hear music. So this is one method of being able to share music.
Right, and just like the cameras here, we wanted to share pictures, right, and see pictures. So,
We had a VHS tape.
yes, we had a VHS tape. What has stayed the same? With the VHS tape, what did we do with these? We watched what? Movies. And now we're streaming. What has stayed the same with that?
People want to watch movies.
People want to watch movies, right? And we have, let's see, floppy disk, then a thumb drive, then Google Docs. The type of technology changed, but something important stayed the same. What stayed the same?
People want to be able to share files, and sometimes they even want to work on files together. They
That's
want to collaborate on them, and our current technology allows for that.
So friends, what is most important stays the same, but the way we do it has changed a lot.
So in Unitarian Universalism, we have been using this one particular type of technology or way of communicating and thinking about our faith. It's called the 7 Principles, and it's part of the bylaws. The UUA, the Unitarian Universalist Association, has a governing document. I know people their eyes get clouded over when you start talking about bylaws and articles, and that's because it sounds like, what are you talking about? So this is where it gets complicated, because there's this one section of the UUA bylaws called Article 2. And in that section of this governance document is where it's been describing, since 1985, how we actually think about ourselves and how we articulate what we believe to other people. That was the technology that they came up with at that time. We also know that our faith goes back to the 1700s. So this is a way over time when things have changed, and people in 1985 was like, let's say this is how we are going to articulate who we are. And so to kind of put it in perspective, that was 39 years ago. That's when people made the switch from cassette tapes to CDs, just for a little perspective. And now a team of leaders that have been commissioned by the Unitarian Universalist Association Board back in 2020, they came out they did a lot of studying, they went to a lot of congregations, they did a lot of research, they did all kinds of online meetings and surveys and all this kind of stuff. They listened and listened and listened, and they synthesized down everything, and then they have made this proposal of changing our technology, the way we describe ourselves, the way we articulate. So this technology, or way of articulating and describing our beliefs, has 7 values. So these values that we've been putting emphasis on every month, and so this month we're talking specifically about transformation. We have already talked about justice and equity and generosity. Next month we're going to talk about interdependence, and then in May we'll be talking about pluralism. And in the center of all of that is love. And this year we have been studying and thinking about whether this new technology, because this entire year for the entire UU world has been about studying and learning and thinking out loud. Do we like this or not? Does this fit with who we are? Do we want to actually do this? I don't know. We all don't know. As I say almost every Sunday, all of this is an ongoing experiment. So we are planning and thinking and growing. And so as a congregation, we've been digging into these values. So this month is specifically on transformation. There's a lot to think about here, and we know that change is hard. It can be uncomfortable. I'm thinking about how sometimes, like our butterfly friends, sometimes it's hard for you going through a change, sometimes it's hard to watch other people going through their change. And we're like, oh, don't change on me. But then eventually that person changes and we adjust, or vice versa. But it can still be hard. We're not going to like gloss over it and make it sound like it's super easy and everybody enjoys it, because it's not always. So we've learned a lot about technology, and we learn about ourselves in the process. But we also know that as long as we commit to move forward together in love, if everything we do is about love and relationships, we can change and change and change again. And what we love most, every time I come in here, every time I see your face, your posts in the internal Facebook group, every time I see what we're doing, all I think about is how much I love you guys. And I hope you love each other. I hope you see where their love truly is what we are always doing here. Love and healthy congregation, healthy building together is what we do together.
And this whole year, we've been focusing on 6 values and love, because they are proposed to be the new technology, a way we share and describe our faith. In Article 2 of the UUA bylaws, at this year's General Assembly, the annual gathering of Unitarian Universalists, which will be completely virtual so anyone can attend, there will be a vote on changing this section of the bylaws. As we've said today, this month, we are focusing on transformation.
This is the verbiage from the proposed changes that supports adopting the value transformation. This is also in the Magnet article that came out a couple of days ago. We adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritages, never complete and never perfect. Like the other values we have focused on, this one too calls us to action and has a responsibility ingrained in the words. It says, we will covenant to. Covenant is another word for promise, i.e., we promise to each other that we will collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. It's not just an accident, oh wow, I grew out of that, it's I am intentionally growing. To me, this says we take seriously our responsibility to grow spiritually. We take seriously our responsibility to grow ethically. This statement says we will do these things. In our culture, there is this idea that growth and development is something that is only for children or young adults. Now, who loved those pictures of the kids earlier? They were so cute, weren't they? It's so easy to see children over time. We see the pictures and go, oh, that's so cute. But we humans, we adults, children are humans too, but we adults, after a certain age, we stop looking the same, and you can see pictures like 10 years difference here and there, but it's harder to see the change. But we do change if we allow ourselves to, if we can notice how we are different. Like I hear stories of adults, parents saying to their parents, gosh, you're so much different with my kids than you were with me. Like we all change over time. All of us, regardless of our age, can continue to grow spiritually and even ethically. However we define the word spiritually, and whether that means something like becoming more aware, becoming more present, more connected to ourselves and each other, something beyond ourselves, something that helps us grow as humans. However you define that word. Having transformation as one of our clearly stated values reinforces that this is actually an important part of Unitarian Universalism, not just a byproduct, something that, oh, we can look back and see that happened. This is a looking forward. This is who we are. And thinking about transformation, I couldn't help but think of the example of music, especially because we have so many music examples here. But what about the music itself? During today's offertory, and so in a few minutes, we are going to watch and listen to a video on YouTube. This song is Bobby McFerrin's song, Don't Worry, Be Happy. It was produced by an organization called Playing for Change.
Does anyone know that song? Raise your hand if you know the song Don't Worry, Be Happy. I see a lot of young friends with their hands up and a lot of adults with their hands up. Who can sing it? Who can sing it by heart? Who knows like all the words or almost all the words? Okay, got a few hands. And many of us have memories associated with that song. I was in 4th grade, like my son, when that song was really big. And I remember the video coming out. I did, and I probably still know it word for word. In the video, children and adults around the world are recorded singing it. It's not Bobby McFerrin himself, but it has the essence of him. In the video, the participants play instruments and sing together, and it was recorded and shared in ways that weren't possible in 1988, when this song was first released. Creating this video would have been much, much harder to do in 1988. YouTube didn't exist in 1988. No. No, it did not.
No, Spotify did not exist in 1988. Wow. Then at the end of our service, during the traveling music that we have on our multi-gen days, Christina, our pianist for today, she is going to play Don't Worry, Be Happy, and we are going to hear her rendition of this famous song. No pressure. We are going to enjoy it. Who can't be happy while you're listening to Don't Worry, Be Happy? Right. Now, has anyone taken away Bobby McFerrin's song? Does the song no longer exist? No. Do you think Bobby McFerrin is worried about people losing the essence of this song? No. Is the recording of Bobby McFerrin singing this song, the original recording, still available for any of us to listen to at any time? Yes.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Probably on Spotify, too.
Same thing. In the same way, the essence of who we are as Unitarian Universalists will always stay the same. What is being proposed is a new way of describing who we are and words that make it clear we need to take action. The proposal takes what we love about our faith and expands upon it much the same way that the video we are going to watch does for the original version of Don't Worry, Be Happy. Throughout this month, we will continue to explore the theme of transformation. If we truly are the church of, maybe the kids know this part, of the open minds, open hearts, with hands that are ready to serve, then we can keep our minds open. The first part is the minds open, right? Minds that are open, hearts that are open, with hands that are ready to serve. If we really believe this, then we can think on transformation and see how transformation affects and helps us all. I encourage you to consider ways you personally have been transformed, because you are part of this faith, even if this is your first time today. Maybe just the courage to walk in helped you transform in some way. And the ways that your transformation has impacted others, much like how Sydney's change impacted Homer. May we have patience, joy, and grace with each other and ourselves as we continuously transform. Thank you. And today, we are continuing a slightly new, reconstituted, old tradition of having a membership moment. And so today's membership moment is coming from Bev Church. No, the video is during the offertory. We'll just leave this here.
Excuse me, as I was thinking about what I would say today, I noticed while reading the Magnet newsletter that the theme for the month is transformation. And it occurred to me that it's an appropriate word to describe my journey here at UCF. I discovered this church more than 20 years ago when I was working at the city of Farmington Hills. The mayor had been invited to speak here, and she asked me if I could provide her with some background information. At the time, my husband and I and our 3 children had been attending a local Christian church, off and on, mostly off, because I struggled with reciting a creed I wasn't sure I believed in. And I also struggled because my kids did not like going. When I started researching this church, I remember thinking, wow, I need to check this place out. And I did. I don't remember what the message was that first day, but I do remember sitting in the pew and tearing up because I felt I'd finally found a spiritual home. Here I found what I hadn't found at Christian churches I had previously attended, a community where I could explore my beliefs among people who shared my values. But I also found so much more. I found a religious education program with classes taught by loving adults that became a place that my kids wanted to come to. And even though I know my kids were a handful, and there were probably some longtime members here today who can confirm that, including one who might be service leader. But they always felt welcomed and accepted. My husband and I were proud of the fact that despite our often flawed parenting skills, our kids managed to grow into moral, ethical, respectful, and inclusive adults, and I believe their UU experiences contributed to that. I also found a community with some of the warmest, most caring, and fun people I'd ever met. Each year, my calendar is filled with activities with fellow church members, and this will be my 9th year in the choir, and for me, singing has become an important spiritual practice, a kind of a prayer. The many social activities that the church is involved, the many social justice activities the church is involved in have allowed me to help others in ways I may not have discovered on my own. And in the Sunday evening group coordinated by Marie Laurie, we read books and articles, listen to podcasts, watch movies, discuss issues that have transformed how I think about the world and my place in it. Being part of this community became especially important to me last year when my husband passed away. The cards, kind words, hugs, flowers, food, visits, phone calls, all lifted my spirits and helped me get through a very difficult time. I felt surrounded by your love. I'm so grateful to all of you for providing me with a place that has transformed me in ways big and small. And where, whether at a Sunday morning service, a meeting, an RE classroom, a choir practice, a social justice activity, or any other gathering, I always leave feeling better than when I came. Thank you.
Yes, talk about transformation. I was surprised that those church youth made it to adulthood the way that they pummeled each other. Our congregation is entirely self-governed by the democratic process. One of the privileges of our free church traditions is to provide all of the financial support for our many ministries from among ourselves. Generously, therefore, is one of the spiritual values we recognize as central to our personal and institutional well-being. You're now invited to participate in the blessing of giving as the ushers come among you to accept the gifts of the congregation. You may also give online via the QR code on the back of the order of service.
I'm gonna watch a movie.
don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed, but don't worry. Be happy. The landlord say your rent is late. You may have to litigate, but don't worry. Be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no girl to make you smile, but don't worry. Be happy.
Cause when you're worried, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. So don't worry, no, no, no. Be happy, be happy now. Oh, don't worry, baby. Yeah. So just don't worry, just don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry.
Now rise as you are willing and able to sing our hymn number 1017. We are making a new way.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way.
See how the notes go?
We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. We can feed our every need. Oh, we can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these, this world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry.
Please remain standing. For our closing words, our Universalist heritage, we are all loved. Our Unitarian heritage, we are one. May we remember that love is the center of all that we do, all of our connections, all of our communications with each other, everything we build, the past and the future. May love continue to transform who we are as individuals and our congregation. Much love and transformation to each of you.
Okay, let's go. Come on. Come on, kids. Are you flying? Huh? Do you want me to take this off? Are you having fun playing with it? Okay.
Thank you.
all right.
Yeah. Well, not by me, but it is handmade.
You were wondering.